Let's clear up the rumors and get to the bottom of what's really happening with Coca-Cola in America. If you've been online lately, you've probably seen some pretty wild headlines and social media posts suggesting that Coca-Cola is packing up and leaving the country for good. It's the kind of story that spreads like wildfire, especially when people are already anxious about big companies making big moves. But let's set the record straight. Coca-Cola is not leaving America. The company is still deeply rooted in the United States, with its headquarters in Atlanta and a massive presence in communities across the country. Coca-Cola is as American as apple pie, backyard barbecues, and yes, even those heated debates on Facebook. The idea that the company would suddenly vanish from the US is pure clickbait designed to grab your attention and get you sharing. Here's what's actually happening. Coca-Cola is closing a single bottling plant in California. That's it. They're not shutting down all their US operations or moving overseas. It's a local change, not a national exit. Of course, for the workers and families in that community, this closure is a big deal. It means job losses and uncertainty, and it's understandable that people are upset. But it's important to remember that this is not a sign of Coca-Cola abandoning America. In reality, this move is just one part of a much larger ongoing business strategy. Companies like Coca-Cola are constantly reviewing their operations, looking for ways to be more efficient and competitive in a changing market. Sometimes that means closing older facilities and investing in newer, more advanced ones. It's about streamlining production, reducing costs, and staying ahead in a tough industry, not about giving up on the American market. It's easy to see how confusion happens. One plant closure can quickly spiral into rumors and dramatic headlines, especially when news outlets and social media amplify the story without all the facts. But the reality is, Coca-Cola is still everywhere you look, on store shelves, at Super Bowl parties, and in vending machines across the country. The company is even rolling out new products and marketing campaigns as we speak. What's really happening is a shift in how Coca-Cola does business, not where it does business. The company is adapting to new challenges and opportunities just like any major corporation. This closure is part of a broader trend. Companies everywhere are streamlining operations, investing in automation, and finding ways to boost efficiency and profits in a rapidly changing world. So, while it's a local event that's making national headlines, the truth is far less dramatic than the rumors suggest. It's a business decision, not a national crisis. So, before you start panic buying cases of Coke or worrying that your favorite drink is disappearing, let's take a breath and look at the facts. Coca-Cola isn't leaving the country, it's simply evolving, updating its operations, and making changes behind the scenes to stay strong for the future. And in a world full of sensational headlines, understanding the real story behind the news is more important than ever. Let's zoom in on American Canyon, California, a small but vibrant community nestled in the heart of Napa County. Known for its close-knit neighborhoods and scenic landscapes, this town has long been shaped by the industries that call it home. For the past 30 years, Coca-Cola's bottling plant has been more than just a workplace. It's been a landmark, a source of steady jobs, and a symbol of economic stability for countless families in the area. But by June 2025, that chapter will close for good. The plant isn't just pausing operations, it's shutting down permanently, leaving behind an empty building and a lot of uncertainty. For the people of American Canyon, this is a major disruption to daily life. For Coca-Cola though, it's a calculated business decision, part of a larger strategy to adapt to changing times and market demands. The beverages produced here, Powerade, Minute Maid, Gold Peak Tea, will still be found in stores and vending machines across the country. The familiar flavors aren't disappearing. Instead, these drinks will be bottled at other facilities, handled by third-party companies that specialize in large-scale beverage production, often in different regions or even different states. Coca-Cola is moving away from making its own drinks in-house, choosing instead to outsource production to partners who can do it more efficiently or at a lower cost. Imagine running a beloved bakery, but one day you decide to have someone else bake your signature cakes. The recipe stays the same, but the hands making it and the place it's made change. This closure is just one example of a much bigger trend. In today's global economy, decisions made in distant boardrooms can ripple out, affecting the lives of people in small towns thousands of miles away. For corporations, it's all about streamlining operations and maximizing efficiency, even if that means leaving behind the communities that helped them grow. The closure of a single plant can reshape the entire fabric of a town, impacting not just jobs, but local businesses, schools, and the sense of community itself. The drinks will still fill supermarket shelves, but the people who made them, and the local connections they fostered, may be gone for good. This is the new face of manufacturing in the 21st century, where automation, outsourcing, and global supply chains are the norm, and local roots can be severed overnight. The story of American Canyon's Coca-Cola plant is more than a local headline. It's a window into how global economic forces shape the everyday realities of people everywhere, reminding us that the world's biggest decisions often start with a single local story. So what's this asset-right strategy Coca-Cola keeps mentioning? In plain English, it means owning fewer factories and outsourcing the messy, expensive parts of making drinks. Coca-Cola's real strength is its brand, not bottling. Under asset-right, they sell syrup to partners, who handle the bottling and distribution. This lets Coca-Cola focus on marketing and innovation, not machinery and payroll. It's a shift from doing everything themselves to letting others handle the heavy lifting. The American Canyon closure is part of this global move toward efficiency. Coca-Cola wants to own the idea of Coke, not the factory that makes it. It's outsourcing, rebranded as strategy. Behind every corporate strategy are real people. 135 workers at the American Canyon plant will lose their jobs. For them, asset right means unemployment, not efficiency. The closure ripples through the community, affecting families, local businesses, and city services. A factory isn't just a workplace, it's part of the local economy. When it shuts down, everyone feels it, from suppliers to sandwich shops. For Coca-Cola, it's a logical business move. For workers, it's a life-changing event. Finding new jobs in an expensive region won't be easy. This is the human cost of corporate restructuring, a story repeated in towns across America. The headlines focus on strategy, but the real impact is personal. Communities are left to pick up the pieces after the company moves on. The winners are shareholders, the losers are workers and their families. That's the reality behind the business jargon. While one plant closes, Coca-Cola is making big moves elsewhere. At Universal Orlando's new Epic Universe Park, they launched exclusive themed drinks. Celestial Spritz, Dragon Splash, Screaming Berry. These aren't just new sodas, they're part of a major partnership and marketing push. It's proof Coca-Cola is investing in the US, not leaving it. The company is shifting focus from bottling to brand experiences and innovation. Factory closures free up resources for these high-impact projects. The new flavors show Coca-Cola is doubling down on the American market. They're not going anywhere. They're just changing how they connect with consumers. Some wonder if politics or tariffs are behind the plant closure. The answer, not really. Coca-Cola says this is part of a long-term global strategy, not a reaction to trade wars or political shifts. Tariffs and trade tensions do affect costs, but they didn't trigger this specific shutdown. The closure is about efficiency and profitability, not politics. Sometimes the real explanation is just business, not a headline-grabbing conspiracy. Coca-Cola's move is part of a bigger trend. Companies everywhere are rethinking how they operate. The old model of owning every step of production is fading. Now it's about outsourcing, cutting costs, and maximizing flexibility. Shareholders want profit growth, and factories are expensive to run. Outsourcing wipes those costs away, making companies look leaner and more profitable. Technology and globalization make it easy to manage far-flung supply chains. If costs rise in one place, production shifts elsewhere. This global shuffle boosts profits but creates job insecurity at home. Companies are becoming brand managers, not manufacturers. The Coca-Cola story is just one example of a worldwide corporate pivot. It's a strategic shift reshaping the economy and the future of work. No talk of Coca-Cola's strategy is complete without mentioning plastic waste. Coca-Cola is a top producer of plastic pollution, responsible for billions of bottles each year. When they own the factories, they control environmental standards. Outsourcing raises questions. Will partners meet the same standards, or will responsibility slip? Environmental groups warn that shifting production could worsen pollution if not managed carefully. As Coca-Cola gets asset-light, it must prove it's not dodging its environmental duties. The world is watching to see if the company can be both efficient and responsible. So, what's the real story behind the headlines? Despite what you might have heard, Coca-Cola isn't packing up and leaving America. The iconic brand, with its deep roots in American culture, is still very much a part of the nation's fabric. The recent plant closure is actually a calculated move in a much larger global strategy. It's not a political statement, nor is it a sign of desperation or decline. Instead, it's a reflection of how multinational companies adapt to a rapidly changing world. Coca-Cola is shifting its focus from owning and operating factories to building its brand, investing in research, and strengthening its intellectual property. The company is betting on innovation, marketing, and partnerships to keep its edge. These changes, however, spark rumors and fears. They tap into our anxieties about job security, the future of work, and the health of the economy. When a familiar factory closes, it feels personal, like a piece of the community is being lost. But the truth is more complex than a simple story of loss. What's happening is corporate evolution, an ongoing process of adaptation and reinvention, not abandonment. Companies like Coca-Cola must constantly rethink how they operate to survive. In this process, shareholders and investors often benefit from increased efficiency and profits, while workers and local communities can end up paying the price through layoffs and uncertainty. In California, a factory closes, leaving behind empty parking lots and tough questions for families. Meanwhile, in Florida, new products launch and fresh opportunities arise. Two sides of the same corporate strategy playing out in different places. Modern corporations are like machines themselves, always reconfiguring for greater efficiency, automation, and profit. Technology is changing the way products are made and delivered. These companies can create excitement and joy in one community, while causing hardship and loss in another. The impact is never just economic, it's emotional too. To truly understand Coca-Cola's moves, you have to look past the headlines and see the bigger picture. It's about adapting to new realities, not simply cutting costs. This story is about business strategy, the human cost of change, and the growing responsibility companies have to the environment and society. Coca-Cola isn't quitting America, it's reinventing its role here, finding new ways to stay relevant and connected. That's the real thing behind the secret formula.